Look, we found out it's 901 Trigga Trey and the dude with the dreads inside the Family Dollar. And when they walk out the front door of Family Dollar, that witness, Keyosha, she driving, blocking the view so people don't see them. But she got them on camera, and you could see it's 901 ducking and the dreadhead dude ducking the cameras. So I'm going to clear that up, and then let's get to this video. Boom. In the Keyosha witnesses video where she in the Infinity and she driving across the Family Dollar store, the same time the dude with the dreads hops out the stove, out the front door, and was walking. He's ducking his head right as she's driving by that front door. So the reason why she's even driving like that is because she's supposed to hide the dreadhead dude while they walk to that expedition, the Ford expedition that's parked on the side of Family Dollar right there. So she's driving so that they could walk, and her car is blocking the view of the people. But they messed up because she's recording. We can see him ducking her car, her video, you know. He could see that she's filming and had a phone up, and he ducked the phone. He turned his head so quick. He turned his head because he didn't want to be on camera, because he knows he's a part of this whole mess. You feel me? So while they're supposed to walk to that truck, she's blocking them. And we already seen what dude looked like too, because there's pictures of inside the store, inside Family Dollar. It's pictures that came out, and they with the security guard that worked for Family Dollar. There's some, and 901 Trigga Trey is inside Family Dollar, and somebody had taken a picture. Somebody put their phone out and must have went live or recording, and somebody got the still frame of where you could see 901 Trigga Trey face, and he got dreads on and everything like that. So that's who one of the people is that walked out that side door, that back door. That's one of the people that they need to get next. And it should be more than, they probably gonna do a 50K reward, 100K reward. It's supposed to have been a 500K reward that Dolph's wife put out initially. First thing that came out was that she was gonna put out 500K, right? And they must be totaling that up or something, but it's the boys who's offering the reward money. It's not Dolph's wife. Dolph's wife reward is in the streets. Is to not bring him in and let him go and be in court and be in in the cell where you can't just walk up on him. You gonna have somebody can't just be like get back. If he in the cell, you're gonna have to end up in the cell with him to get back. So I don't know. I think Dolph's wife reward money is for the bigger, cutting the head off the snake type thing, But basically though, it's crazy because now they could come out and basically question that person, right? And figure out like, why was you even there? Why ain't you buying nothing? You walked out of Family Dollar without purchasing anything. And they could see that it's no footage. There's no footage of him coming in the store before the whole rounds went off and everything. It'd be a different story if he was already in the store when all that whole situation went off. But that's not what the footage gonna show. And if they could say that the dude is Justin Johnson, then why ain't they show that video? How could they tell us to look for this person, but they ain't giving us any kind of proof by putting out the footage saying whoever it is the one that caused everything to happen? So that's why I don't believe that is Justin Johnson who popped off. The person who popped off is still out. And it make no sense. They can't say he popped him and this is the person and everything to look for and he did it, and they're not showing the people no evidence of that. The only thing we got to see from the boys is just that still picture of a dude with the Drake and they pointing everything down, and it's not showing them with a flash on the end of it, on the end of the muzzle. It doesn't show none of that stuff. So I don't know. They're just trying to convince us that it's the Justin dude that did it all, I guess. And they're not talking about no getaway driver. They're not talking about nothing like that. So it just don't make sense. They can't just say it was a one-man show and they got two people in the picture and it's two other people running out the back door, and now we got video of them ducking the cameras and everything like that. Ain't bought nothing inside that store. Ain't bought no groceries, no items or anything. So they need to show us that footage of that front if they gonna tell us to go look for this dude. Because that's just how common sense logic works. Like, you gotta show us, like, how do we know it's that guy? Like, what? They could just be making up. I'm not saying that it's not him, but they could be making up anything and anybody, right? And just to fit some sort of description, they could just be making it up and just saying, yeah, it's him, because they're not showing us how it is him. They ain't zoom in and show the tattoo he had. They ain't say, oh, this is how we found out or nothing like that. They didn't say nothing related to how they got him tied up into it. So it make no sense, other than the fingerprints in the car. Well, what about the other dude's fingerprints? It's two people. It's two people there. Where's the shell casings? How come y'all didn't? Yeah, exactly. Where's the shell casings and everything like that? And that, we already know dude dropped that video where he's at the same house where they dropped the car off at. But why ain't they showing us the video? It's like, at this point, if you already got that suspect announced, you might as well go ahead and run the tape back and be like, look close, see, that's Justin. You know what I mean? Like, if the news is going to talk about, look for this dude, you got to prove to the people that it was that dude. And they're not, it's just like all of a sudden when the pressure got to them, they all of a sudden come up with a whole witness and everything like that. And they still haven't caught the dude. They haven't caught nobody. The reason why they would even have him is because of his DNA match, because he already been locked up. Well, whatever he did in 2017 at that bowling alley, he got locked up for that. And he just got out too on some brand new. He just got out for good behavior. What kind of stuff is that, man? He must have told or something. And this dude gonna tell again. Once they get him in that room, once they actually pick him up, he gonna tell again. He gonna tell, and he better, put out, hey, if he was with 901 or not. So that's what we want to know. So it's like, basically, they got to come up and find them whole other dudes, man. You can't just say it's just one guy. Plus, when the heat got to them, they just come up with somebody, man. Like, come on, man. This whole time, they could have had the information on what's his name? On Justin Johnson. It don't take that long to figure out if Justin Johnson was a part of it. If they got the prints, you could find out them prints quick as heck. Quick. You don't need no month and a half to go by before you figure out. It's almost been 2 months at this point. In 10 days, it'll be 2 months. And they just now talking about, oh, Justin Johnson could be one of them. We don't caught him yet. Be on the lookout. Like, come on, man. Y'all should have had that in 2 weeks. 48 hours. What happened to that? Like I said, if it was some average Joe, you know, they would have been on that case quick. Within a week, it would have been everybody and their mama in the precinct getting interrogated. So, yeah, man. We gonna find out if they get the rest of the dudes, though, because, I mean, this 901 Trigga Trey guy, it's gonna be a matter of time until he on the news, too. It could be tomorrow or the next day, and he gonna pop up on the news. But why is it taking them this long to figure this out? They gave these dudes a whole almost 2-month head start. They could be anywhere by now. I mean, shoot, the price of these cruise ship tickets, they could be in the whole, they could afford that. It could be in a whole nother country by now. It could be across the sea. You never know. So it's not good to give these dudes a 2 months head start. That's why when they got a case, they need to get on it ASAP. I don't know what they doing, if they was eating donuts too much or counting their overtime money and this and that. They was taking their Christmas and holiday breaks, and they didn't care about this case at all until now. They get back after the new year, and they finally picking up the paperwork, dusting it off, and it's been there almost 2 months on their file cabinet, and they just now looking into it, finding out one guy named Justin acting all hard and stuff, and his name is Justin. Come on now. They should have found this out day one. They must not have picked up the folder and looked at nothing. Man. So yeah, we're gonna find out the rest of them dudes. And we're gonna get them phone records too. Man, like this if you want to see the phone records. I want to see the phone records. I want to know what everybody, they get phone records for all sorts of stuff. People be having phone records, talking to their friends and this and that. So we need that. We need to see what was the convo between Dolph and Snoop bands in the morning. Where were they gonna meet? What were they doing? All that. What did Dolph sound like? What's in the background? What can you hear? Is Maurice in the background? Do it sound like he got a strap to his head? So let me know if you want to see that phone footage, that phone records. Like this, subscribe to the channel, share.